It's a Wednesday, a school night in the life of a DJ, and I've got a 3-hour set tonight at a super cool place called Ramona, and they've had like Brian G, they've had Clips, they've had Ray Keith, they've had reggae people, house people, a whole bag of like super cool people, and me. They've got me tonight, and it's a 3-hour set, and I've got to leave for Manchester about 2 o'clock to get up, check into the hotel. Was going to get a train, but I'm getting a hire car instead, so I've got to go, have a shave, got to get in a shower, got to go and get the motor. But check out my track list or playlist. I've got a 3-hour set, and I've selected about 200 tunes. This set, what I'm planning on for tonight, goes from round about 120 BPM and ends up round about 170, but it starts with like bleeps, bass, 89, 90, breakbeat vibes into like Euro, Techno, into Rave. I've got a lot of world exclusives for tonight's set. Very like rave reminiscent stuff. It goes proper underground stuff, some breaks. It builds up to the jungle techno. I'm liking a lot of acid jungle techno new stuff, some real dark stuff, some classic breakbeat piano, some modern sort of authentic jungle music. I've literally got over 160 tracks that I want to try and squeeze into 3 hours. So I've had me shave. How am I looking, boys? All right? Girls, looking all right with the old shave? Can't turn up to a 3-hour set all scruffy. Or at least I can turn up a little bit less scruffy than usual. But I'm on the way, get my car. You're probably thinking, I thought these DJs had flash motors and travelled around in luxury and had like 5 or 6 cars on the drive. When I was younger, like I used to have flash cars. Like one of my proudest moments in like I think it was my 20s or my 30s was when I brought a brand new Merc, and I got my dad, God rest his soul, we lost last year, and he drove off the car front in my brand new Merc. But as I've got older, cars don't bother me, because in my 20s and 30s I drove around in flash cars and lived the dream and thought like, yeah, gotta have a nice car. Whereas now I'm not so fussed, and also with the amount of travelling I do on, I use a lot of public transport, especially with the all-day gigs, or get hire cars, or I have friends who drive around, and I actually save like on tax, insurance, buying cars, probably up to 15 grand a year. This geezer here, right, he's had a trim like mine, and just as I said to him, come on, we're doing a little blog, he's put his hat on and gone, nah, Dad, my hair don't look right. I thought you looked good.
I look too much like you.
He looks too much like me, cheeky. Do you trust me to not go faster than 120 miles an hour?
I don't trust you, I won't.
You don't trust me at all?
No, I do trust you.
Yeah, you're bad. No, do you trust me to bring the car back in one piece?
Definitely.
I'm in the motor waiting for Sozo. She's coming with me because I need my handheld wherever I go. You know that one, men, don't you? We're pretty useless. But it's Wednesday, and normally I'm on the radio on Centerforce for the Bunter Boogie Down at this time. So who's ever on, I'm listening. Make sure you do the Boogie Down proud. Hockey, the Sozonator, the Elton. We're listening to someone covering my show song. I've not worked out who it is yet. Are you ready for a 4-hour and 13-minute journey with me? Be honest.
Not really, no.
Cheers. We've made our first stop. You've had a little sleep, haven't you?
I've had a sleep.
We're halfway there. We're at Corley North Services. No matter how many times over the past 3 decades I've gone up and down these motorways, as I get older, it does get more and more boring. It's boring, isn't it?
Well, I've been sleeping.
She's been sleeping. Like, it's a boring, but I'm desperate for a wee. I need coffee, and then we'll go for the next half of the journey. Then we'll get in our hotel. We won't have the energy to get at it. Well, we're gonna need a little sleep at our age. Oi! This is literally the bane of my life. Look at that up there, 60 miles an hour, and all the way, literally, we've been in the car for nearly 100 miles, and it doesn't matter whether I'm travelling at 5 a.m. in the morning or 5 p.m. in the afternoon. These roads with these speed restrictions are absolutely ridiculous, and I'm always, I shouldn't say this, but I'm always getting points, especially at like 2 a.m. and 5 a.m. And the thing with these restrictions is, like, back in the day, and I can recall like late 90s going from like Leicester gigs down to Bagley's, and I'm saying it's nothing to be proud of at my age, but I used to do like 120, 140 miles an hour and get from Leicester to London in like an hour and 10, hour and 15 minutes, which I'm not proud of. And but I guess my point is all of these restrictions, like 40 miles an hour, 50 miles an hour, 60 miles an hour are on 70 mile an hour M roads where there is literally zero roadworks anywhere. It's literally here just to give idiots like me fines because we want to just fly through it. And the other thing that's mad, and I'm trying to equate in my head, right? So let's say 30 years of DJing, and let's just work this out. 35 years of DJing, 5 of those was all, like literally all in London every week, and then 30 years of DJing pretty much every weekend around the UK, up and down these motorways still to this day. So let us just say on average every weekend I've done 500 miles a weekend. Now I've done a lot of miles on these British motorways. Touch wood, I've never had an accident. I've had plenty of speeding fines. I have lost my licence a few times, a hazard of the job. But I guess I'm ranting, and I'm going to say how disgusting these speed limits are for like 10, 20, 30 miles on end, going from 40 to 50 to 60. It's actually more dangerous as it all of a sudden out of nowhere it go from 60 to 40, and for me it's just a right state. It shows the state of like penalising people for no reason whatsoever. There's zero on the past 100 miles that I've done, literally zero roadworks. What the rave DJs, aging rave DJs listen to? Bit of hot chocolate, mate. Yeah. I said to Sonya, I'm proper ranting about this now, ain't I? I said, go into Google and say to Google, why is there so many variable speed limits across the UK's motorways, right? So it basically says, and I'm paraphrasing, that they are there to ease congestion. They make congestion worse. They literally make congestion worse. It also says it's because there will be roadworks. I have nearly done 180 miles and there hasn't been a single roadwork or congestion. The only time there is congestion is when their variable speed limits are in place. It also says, and you can go and look this up, that basically it might not be evident why it might not be evident why there is speed limits, but we will enforce that speed limit. And basically, what did you say, Sonia? Why is it there?
So they can obviously enforce the speed limits and fine people for breaking it.
Exactly. So in my head, after going up and down these motorways for all that time in my career, why don't they just... They've decided that these roads are no longer... that these M roads are no longer 70 miles an hour. It's literally 40s, 50s, 60s. Why don't they just set the speed limit to 50 and then everyone learns that? But if they do that, then they're not going to be able to make money out of people who are like me now. And some of you are going to go, you idiot, why don't you just stick to their variable speed limits? I am. But what happens is, especially when you're up and down this motorway at 2 or 3 in the morning, you'll be flying along in the 70 mile zone, and then all of a sudden out of nowhere, bam, you're going to the 50 or the 40 because there's alleged roadworks and there's not a single roadwork in place. Yeah, I'm ranting, and I think it's a liberty. What do you think, Son?
Fucking liberty.
Well, you can't swear on the YouTube. I know I'm right, because men, when do our partners ever agree with us? Never do they. Even Sonia is agreeing with what I'm saying. In over 30 years of being with this woman, this is literally the first time she's ever agreed with me and said, you're right. Am I ever right, Son? In your eyes, am I ever right?
Never. So our journey discussions are, I always say to Daniel, do not fill the tank up full of petrol because you might save a bit of money.
Like, seriously? How, like, she always says, oh, the lighter the load, the more you get out of your petrol. If you want to save, what are you going to save? 50p? 25p? You better get out and walk then.
You get out and walk. Cheek.
Well, I'm the one who's got a DJ, so you get out and walk and save 30p.
Well, you get out and walk and I'll go and do your set better than you ever could.
That was long. Wouldn't it, Son?
Yeah.
Back in the day, we'd do my house to Manchester at 4 or 5 in the morning, 2.5 hours. That's bad, I know. I keep saying I'm not proud of it, but we've got to the car park in the modern world, Sozo, the Nater, the Sozonator, has to do all this, look, because I'm a man and I am absolutely useless. You know, all the way you have to go on your phone and do it. What happened to the days where you could just go in, put your dough in? Life changes, doesn't it? Life moves on. So we parked up. We're going to go and check in the hotel. My set is 9 to 12. We're going to grab a little bite to eat in Manchester. Apparently, where I'm playing, Ramona is a right trendy pizza gaff as well. I don't think I've told you, but they're recording it to the full 3 hours as well to put on YouTube. I'm very excited. Sonia, are you excited? What do you mean, yes? She's excited about spending the night with me in an hotel. Ooh la la! Literally just clocked. We're literally away for 24 hours. What have you got in them 2 bags?
I've got your gimp suit.
Gimp suit. Touchdown in the hotel room. No expense spared here, Sozo. You went in, girl, didn't you? What with the 20p you saved on making sure I didn't fill up the whole tank. Our wonderful Travelodge. Son, the view's unreal. Warming us up for the summer. Look at that, girl. Look, oh, proper. It's like Beirut out there. Hang on, let me just see her. The walls are a bit thin for when you open them bags and go in on me. Son. We're nicely ahead of time, and we're in Manchester in the northern quarter. Where I love coming here, son.
Yeah,
I do love Manchester. Of course, I love Manchester. How can I not love Manchester? But we're looking for something to eat. Then gonna go back, have a chill for a little bit. Then 9 to 12 set, 3 hours. In my head, I'm gonna give them the full spectrum of rave, 88, 89 through to 93, 94 vibes. That's it. The night's ruined. Piccadilly Records, that see it out there, it's shut, and I'm walking past it. Let me in. I want to buy records. More record shops, vinyl exchange. I can't believe I'm somewhere, 2 brilliant record shops, and they're shut. Could have got here a bit earlier, but all those 40, 50, 60 mile limits done me. So for dinner, we chose Turtle Bay. We've been into these quite a few times, haven't we?
Yeah.
Over the years. Do we rate them? I can't remember.
It's been a long time since we've had one.
I think it is a long time. We're big foodies, by the way. When you get to our age, you go to theatre and stuff, don't you? And you go out eating a lot, and you go for walks and stuff like that. It was nice. How much will you give it out of 10?
8 out of 10?
8 out of 10. I had jerk pork belly. What did you have?
Jerk wings, mac and cheese.
Nice.
Plantain.
It was nice. It was nice. I've got one complaint though, an absolute travesty. What's it called? Turtle Bay, where we just been. Turtle Bay, you should be ashamed. How can you play as background music a cover version of You, Roy, Natty Rebel in house? Sonya, bad, innit? We didn't get up and walk out because I love food too much, but anyone who listens to the Bunters Boogie Down or has listened to my Music Monday shows for 15 years, You, Roy, Natty Rebel, 1976 is one of my favourite soul-stirring reggae records of all time, and they played it in a cover version house track. Travesty. It should be a crime against music. They need to take that off their playlist because it's not right. Do you know what's on?
What?
It's worse. Do you know what doing that is worse than?
What?
It's worse than the variable speed limits. It is worse than the variable speed limits. I would rather drive through every variable speed limit and get fines all over the country than have to hear that track again. We're here and I'm proper excited because I've seen hello mate, because I've seen the videos of Ray and Brian playing here, and it's a super cool thing, and it's going to broadcast on YouTube, so I'm looking forward to getting on the decks. Yes brother, how are you mate? You alright geezer?
Very good.
How are you? You alright? Look, we've got even more good looking geezers. You alright Billy? How you going? Pal? You alright? Look, hello mate. It's a proper Manchester people. It's a proper
Manchester
kind of
appropriate t-shirt.
Very appropriate. You've got hard hands. You can like halfway through my 3-hour set, you can rub me down. So I'm just about to go on. How old are you? 19. How old are you? And I'm coming on with records that are 38 years old. 38 years old, I'm coming on with tunes. Come on. Come on. Every single hand in the air, please. Somebody say yeah. If you want to reload, somebody scream. Now listen, this is important. In the past 90 minutes we've played music from legendary people who created the foundations for this sound. Lenny the Ice, we played music from, sadly left us, passed away. Keith Flint, Prodigy, sadly left us. This tune here, Top Buzz, Living in Darkness, R.I.P. Jason K. Whole bag of music is being played that is twice you lot's age in some instances, and they've laid the foundations, and I'm so grateful that you lot are rocking hard to this legendary foundation music. Make some noise for yourselves for showing the love and the appreciation to these vibes. If you love hardcore, if you love jungle, somebody say yeah. When I say Billy, you say Bunter. Billy! Bunter! Billy! Bunter! This one's emotional, this one's special. When I say Jason, you say K. Jason! Jason! I want you not say, if you're under 20, put your hands in the air. If you're under 20, put your hands in the air. When this one drops, I want you not say, we're still playing this tonight. We went hardcore, we went happy hardcore, we went jungle. Did you like the journey you was taking on? The full spectrum, make some noise for yourselves. You lot been one of the best crowds I've seen in ages. Somebody say yeah! Yeah! Somebody say oi oi! Finishing you off with myself, Patrick's and the Racket Twins. Get well soon, our brother Demon Rockers, Racket Twins. Jungle is St. Paul! Last one. We're up. Sonya, what was the gig like?
Brilliant.
It was absolutely incredible. It was incredible. We're up. We've had about 5 or 6 hours sleep. It was amazing. It was a place called Ramona, which is like this big space that's like do you know, like around Shoreditch, and this is for the Londoners, around Shoreditch, and they're basically everywhere, these places, like where they're eateries, whether that's pizzas and places you can go and have a drink, and it's got like a club dance floor space in it. It's just like really
cool and really modern. I guess they are all over the country. I'm talking like an old man here, like, oh, there's all these, have you seen these modern places? But it was brilliant. It was so good. And one of my things that I say on the mic is, if you're over 40, put your hands in the air. And about 8 people put their hands in the air. If you're under 40, and I didn't even have to say under 40, if you're under 25, put your hands in the air, and hundreds of youngsters put their hands in the air. And it was brilliant. Like, when I say I went in, like, I started acid, bleeps, 88, 89, and just built through. I started like 120, 125 BPM and ended up at 175 jungle, drum and bass. And I played everything, happy, hardcore, jungle, techno. Not many anthems, was there, Son? Not many rave anthems as such. There was rave anthems, but not like, yeah. Actually, that's probably wrong. Because it was 3 hours, and I probably played 30 to 40 tracks an hour. I did around it. I did put a lot of like bigger anthems like Bizarre Inc. and that in. But what I loved and what I take from it is like down my posts a lot. Like my pages get across my Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, I get something like 10 million views a month on all of the content that I put out, and 95% of the tens, hundreds of thousands of comments and likes and shares, and he's always positive, but there's always a little slight percentage of negativity. It could be you're not on vinyl, or it wasn't like that back in our day, or look at them people. Sometimes you get people say, look at all them people on their phones, and no one's on their phone, or look at all them youngsters, and it could be a load of 45, 50-year-olds in front of me. But what I loved about last night, and I said it on the mic, of course I got on the mic, listen to my voice, is that it was such a young crowd, and they were having it. They were loving it. And I don't care what anyone says. When you get that small percentage of people who go, oh, the kids now, they don't know how to have it. They do. They really, really do. Those negative people, or those people who look in at those youngsters via the internet going, oh, they don't know how to do it. We didn't do it like that in our day. Just because in your mind you were like this super amazing raver in your head who could go for 24 hours without ever stop dancing. Yes, we know you never had phones. It doesn't make your experience better than someone else's experience. And yeah, these youngsters were absolutely loving records that were basically 10 years older than them, 15 years older than them. And it was amazing to see. Anyway, we're getting ready, then we've got to leave, and I've got 4.5 hours to get back to ours, drop off the iCar for 24 hours in the life of an aging old rave DJ. So we've checked out the hotel room. What's killing me is the iCar has to be back at 2 o'clock. I just hired it for 24 hours. And over there, that's my water from last night. I've still got some of my water. My rider literally is sparkling water. And what's killing me is that our hotel was right next to the Northern Quarter, where so many amazing record shops are, and it hurts me inside to not be able to go and buy records. There's the Soswald. Oh, Soswald. And yeah, water. My rider is water. There was a time when it was alcohol on. 7.5 years alcohol free. It's just water for me. Right, we're about to get in the car. We're in the car park and head back. Probably this time of day it's going to take close to 5 hours to get home for all them 40s, 50s and 60 mile an hour speed limits. Let's go. This one is being well flashed right now, so we've just stopped. Look at her.
So we just stopped, we got some Scooby snacks, and she got herself a lottery ticket, and she's just been asked for ID for Challenge 25. He was after you, wasn't he? He was after getting in your knickers, and he wanted to impress you, girl, didn't he? You feel good right now, don't you? Hopefully we win the lottery. Okay! We've arrived home, and we've got 1 hour before the hire car has to be back. And what have you got me doing?
Going to the tip.
A tip run. So to add in 24 hours in the life of an aging 50-year-old, I'm not quite 50 yet, I'm 50 in a few months' time, 50-year-old aging rave DJ, I've got to go and do the tip run. So we're at the tip, right? And we got some hardcore rubble. You know the mad thing about the tip? I always get so nervous when I get here. You drive in here, Son, you drive in the tip all like, yeah, I'm going to lob me old muck everywhere. And then you get here and there's always a steward like, not there, mate. Don't put it there, mate. And now I'm all timid, worried that I'm going to put my hardcore in the right place. Show the world how strong I am, girl. We old hardcore run. What was I saying, right? What was I saying? You come into the old tip and you're like, I'm a man, I'm a geezer, I'm going to throw a load of hardcore and rubble everywhere. That woman's going, sir. And all of a sudden I went, not in there. Even Soso got scared. Look at you. Why is it whenever you come into a tip, you act all like a naughty schoolchild? Like, they're all around in there like orange workman's jackets, all official and that, ready to pounce. Not in there. Don't throw your old rubbish in that one. Throw it in that one. Right, 24. We got told off. You got so scared you quickly turned the camera off, didn't you? Not in there. All right, love, where are you meant to throw the rubbish? Anyway, 25 minutes to 24 hours done. Boom, boom, boom. Have you enjoyed your 24 hours with me?
It's been brilliant.
It's mad, isn't it, when you think...
Still alive, so...
We're still alive. 10 hours on the road, on the motorway, 6-7 hours sleep, 3 hours gigs, 3 hours worth of gigging, DJing, and going out to dinner. What else have we done? We've done the tip, we've done sorting tunes. Hey, sir, don't put that there. That's not where you put the rubbish. All right, love. You've reduced us. You've won for the day. So I did it. The cars dropped back all in one piece. Sozo's all in one piece. 24 hours later. Yes, geezer. Look at him, look. The only person on this site as good looking as me.